Okay guys, today's bonus video is about a month and a half of what sold on eBay. This is Q4, so there are some really good sales. This is also around the time that I picked up a bunch of perfumes and colognes from a huge hoarder estate sale, and I do really good from that sale. This is also around the time that I sold some Bratz dolls, and a Bratz collectors group kind of targeted my eBay account, bid my item up to $11,000 with no intent of paying, just so that I wouldn't make any money off of that lot. So that is just one of many reasons I do not share a link to my eBay account. Now, if you're an actual eBay reseller and that's why you watch my content, it's pretty easy for you to find my account, but for people who don't sell on eBay and don't like resellers, it's a little more difficult. So this video is already long enough. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll the footage. I'm gonna head out and hit up some estate sales and maybe some garage sales today. So I possibly might have some garage sale footage for you guys next week. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys next week. I paid $5 for these coffee mugs, and they sold for $75 within 3 hours of listing. I paid $1 for these shoes at the bins, and they took about a week to sell. They sold for $62 plus shipping. I also paid $1 for this Ninja pitcher at the bins, and it took about 2 weeks to sell for $35. The Sony Handycam case was also a bins pickup. I paid about $2 for it, and it sold for $19. I paid $2 for this massager at the bins, and it's damaged, and it still sold for $50. In better condition, these sell closer to $100. All shoes are $1 at the bin, so I paid $1 for these Doc Martens, and they sold for $32 in about 2.5 weeks. This Victoria's Secret perfume sold for $83. I paid $1 for it about 2 months ago at an estate sale. This vampire is from 1990. I paid $2 for him, and he sold for $40 plus shipping. He does have some damage, and part of his foot is ripped. If he was in better condition, I think I could have got closer to $70 for him. I bought a bunch of Birkenstocks about 3 weeks ago at an estate sale. I paid $5 for each pair. This pair sold for $44. And then this is another pair from that same estate sale. These ones sold for $28 plus shipping. I picked this Coach bag up for less than $1, and it sold for $18 in about 3 weeks. This was not my best pickup. I paid $20 for this a year ago, and I just took a best offer of $56 plus shipping. When I picked this up last year, there were sold close to $200, and then the price tanked on this. It took about 3 months for this Department 56 fountain to sell. I paid $3.99 for this at Salvation Army, and it sold for $26. I picked up this phone for $2 at an estate sale probably 3 months ago now, and it sold for $20 plus shipping. This McDonald's cup sold for $24. I paid less than $1 for it at the bins a month ago. About 6 weeks ago, I picked up 2 Robert Graham shirts at Neiman Marcus. The other one already sold. This one just sold for $240 on Poshmark. I paid 75 cents for both of these Rainbird sprinklers at the bins. It's probably been about 6 weeks since I picked them up, and they both sold for $42 plus shipping on eBay. I always pick up anything Rainbird when I find it if the price is right. These ones were easy to look up. I just checked out that number on the sprinkler and typed in Rainbird. Now these Nikes, I paid $1 at the bins. They sold for $28. I picked up this Jigglin' George at the Goodwill probably about 3 months ago. I paid $9.99 for it, and it sold for $42. Keep an eye out for these leg exercisers. I have another one over there. Some of these can sell for big money. I paid $2 for this windbreaker set, and it sold for $24 on eBay. Probably took about 2.5 months for this to sell. I don't think I'm going to profit much on these. I sold both of them for $50, and I paid $18 a piece at TJ Maxx. This vintage ceramic Christmas tree sold for $130. It's all profit. I picked this up in March. I also picked up these blow mold candlesticks in March, and these sold for $60 plus shipping. These are by Empire. This 18-piece Wallace flatware set sold for $53, and I paid $2 for it about 3 months ago. Anything with this atomic star design, I usually always pick it up. This vintage Frankenstein is from 1980, and I paid $2 for him at an estate sale, and he sold for $33. I'll show you guys how I package him up later today. These Sorel boots were 50 cents at the bins, and they sold for $22 on eBay. All kid shoes are 50 cents at my bin store, and adult shoes are $1. This is almost the end of these tractors that I got for free. This one sold for $38 plus shipping. This mailbox took over a year to sell. I paid $3 for it, and it sold for $38. This glass carafe took about a year to sell. I paid $2 for it, and it sold for $20 on Facebook Marketplace. These Hummel Spice containers sold for $55 plus shipping. I picked these up about a month and a half ago at a garage sale. I paid $4 for the entire set. I paid $10 for this Danbury mint about 3 months ago, and it sold for $175. Depending on the breed of the dog and the condition of these trees, some of these can sell for a lot more than what mine sold for, so keep an eye out for these. I've had this Annalee Christmas mouse listed for about 3 months. I picked her up at the bin, so I maybe paid 50 cents for her, and she sold for $20. It took a year and a half for this Grandeur Noel polar bear set to sell. I paid $5 for it, and it sold for $55. This Little Mermaid, I paid 10 cents for her at a garage sale this summer. She sold for $37 plus shipping. She doesn't have any stickers or maker marks, but she's by Bradley Kenmar. This Canon Sure Shot sold within 48 hours. I paid a little less than $2 for it, and it sold for $55. Whenever I can get church cookbooks cheap at garage sales, I pick them up. I paid 50 cents for all 5 of these, and they sold for $25 plus shipping in about a month and a half. It took about a month and a half for these Versace glasses to sell. I sold these for $200 plus shipping. These were free, but technically not free during a Father's Day event that they had. I stopped at an estate sale 3 months ago, and I picked up this box of flatware. I paid $25 for the entire thing, and I sold 3 5-piece place settings for $90 plus shipping. It's a holiday theme, so I knew it would take a little while to sell. This set is by Cambridge. I'll pull these out so you guys can see a better view, but this is a 4-piece panel of artwork that I picked up at an estate sale. It was priced at $60. I bought it at 75% off day, so I only paid $15 for them, and it sold for $88 plus shipping. Keep an eye out for my shipping video on these. I will show you guys exactly how I package and ship this. These Christmas balls have a great sell-through rate all year round. These I picked up for 50 cents at an estate sale probably about a month and a half ago now, and they sold for $10 each plus shipping on eBay. This Ertl Blurt ball sold for $45 in about 8 weeks. I picked them up at an estate sale for $5. This candle has some damage to it, so it didn't sell for as much as others do. This one sold for $80 on Mercari. It took about 7 months for this to sell. I paid $3 for it. It still has the original sticker with the maker on the bottom. That's how I was able to look it up at the thrift store. I picked up this Crossil bathroom set about 8 weeks ago at a garage sale, and it sold for $38.50 on eBay. Now this also still had the original sticker on the bottom with the pattern name, and that's how I was able to look this one up. This Dymo label maker sold for $52 plus shipping. This is actually the second one of these that I've sold this year. This one took about a month to sell. I paid $5. This is a great brand to look out for. These are Bull Boxer shoes. I paid $5 for these, and they sold in 2 weeks for $38. It took about 8 months for this Department 56 Glitter Factory to sell. It sold for $58.50, and I paid $6 for this. It took 12 hours for the Sony Dream Machine to sell. I paid $2 and it sold for $50. These bottles took about 4 months to sell. They're all profit. I got a big box for $20 at a garage sale. These two sold for $22 plus shipping. They're both from 1998. Now this bottle sold within 24 hours of listing, and it sold for $56. I paid $1 for this one. Now the reason why this one sold for so much more is because of this nipple. This is the flat top latex nipple, and these sell for quite a bit of money. I picked up these shoe trees for $6 a piece, so I have almost 20 invested, and they sold for $45. This set of Versace glasses sold for $220. They took about a month to sell, and these were technically free, but technically not free with purchase. I picked up this percolator for $1 at a garage sale about 2 months ago, and I didn't even notice that it was missing the piece in the middle there, so it ended up only selling for $30. I love picking up small items like this at the bins. I might have paid $25 for this Michael Kors wallet, and it sold for $17 plus shipping. These two vintage soaps sold within 4 hours of listing for $61 plus shipping. This little room divider was quite the opposite. This took about 2 years to sell. I paid $7 for it and it sold for $55 plus shipping on eBay. Now when I bought this, there were comps for over $200 on these, and then the price just really tanked. I was surprised it took this long for this to sell. I paid $9 for this and it sold for $40 within 2.5 weeks. I always pick these up. They aren't a huge profit. I paid $2 and it sold for $12 within a day. I paid $8 for these Helly Hansen shoes and they sold within a week and a half for $44. I picked up these Ralph Lauren pajamas at the bins for about $2, and after 8 months, I took an offer of $30 plus shipping on eBay. Anything with a cord at my bins is $2, so I paid $2 for this KitchenAid food processor. It's brand new and it sold for $105 within 4 months of listing. I spent $365 on 70 discontinued items at an estate sale this weekend. This cologne sold for $165. This Versailles men's cologne sold for $200 plus shipping within 24 hours of listing. I took a best offer on this Fendi cologne of $115. I was hoping for $150, but I was happy with the quick sale. I initially thought this cologne would sell for $100, but after doing some research, I priced it at $80 and took a best offer of $65. It sold within 48 hours. It took about 4 months for this Dream Angel spray to sell. I paid $1 at a garage sale and it sold for $25 on Mercari. I've already profited over $200 on this box of bottles. This one's from 1991. I took a best offer of $8 and it sold within 5 months. This penny sold for $1.10 plus shipping on eBay. This is a 1981 penny with no mint mark. I took a best offer on these Keen boots. I paid $7 for them and they sold for $35 plus shipping in about 3.5 weeks. These light switch plates sold for $90. They're 100% profit. I picked these up at an estate sale about a week ago. Since these were new in the package and had the manufacturer on them, that's the reason why I looked them up. Now these next few colognes that sold I picked up at the same estate sale, so these are 100% profit as well. This one sold for $175 and then this one sold for $38. Those took about a week and a half to sell. And then this aftershave took about a week to sell. This one sold for $70. I love picking up light items like this at the bins. I paid probably about 30 cents for this wig and it sold for $19. And then I paid $1 for this perfume over the summer and this one sold for $22, so it took about 3 months for that to sell. I paid less than $1 for this Carhartt hat. It took about 2 months to sell for $14. This Disney cup was another lower price sale. It sold for $8 and I paid about 80 cents for it at the bins. It took about 3 months for that to sell. I picked up this shirt at a garage sale for 50 cents and it sold for $13 plus shipping on eBay. These gutter clips sold for $52 plus shipping in about 2 weeks. I paid $2 a pack, so about $9 total for all of them. After going through hundreds of coins, these are all the ones that are worth a little bit of money. I sold this 1944 wheat penny for $5 plus shipping on eBay. This one doesn't have a mint mark and it also has an error on it. That's why this one was worth a little bit more money than your average wheat penny. Once I realized this wasn't listed and I got it listed, it sold within a week for $30. I paid $7 for this about 6 months ago, so it's been sitting on my shelf for a while. This set of spoons sold for $18 plus shipping. This is 100% profit. They came from a large lot of silver plate silverware I picked up. About 5 months for these UGG shoes to sell. I paid $1 and they sold for $12. I sold this bag of silver plated flatware for $80. This is all profit again. This came from the same large lot that those spoons came from. This vintage card game sold for $14 plus shipping. I picked this up at the bins probably 2 months ago. It's all profit. These Stranger Things lights sold for $35. I picked these up a week and a half ago at the bins. This was all profit as well. At my bins location, VHS tapes are $1/4. I picked this one up about a year ago and it sold for $6 plus shipping. This Givenchy men's aftershave sold for $140 plus shipping. It took about 3 weeks for this to sell. This came from a large lot of colognes I bought at an estate sale, so this is all profit. I sold 3 5-piece place settings of this flatware for $90 plus shipping. These were also all profit and took about 4 months to sell. I picked up this fake Pottery Barn stove at the bins for maybe $3, and I sold all of these for $40 plus shipping. These were a really quick sale and sold in 2 days. This Tommy Bahama sham sat in my death pile for like 5 months. I got it posted. It sold within 2 days for $10. I paid 50 cents for it. This John Deere tractor was free. I've sold probably about 13 of these. This one sold for $35 plus shipping on eBay. This vintage roller set, I'm going to assume it's from the 90s from the graphics. I picked this up at the bins and it's all profit. It sold for $17 and it probably took about, I'd say, 4 months for this to sell. This rain dance is 100% profit. This also came from the estate sale with all the colognes. This sold for $35. I picked up this bowling ball at the bins. It glows under the black light. I paid $2 for it and it sold for $35 in about 3 weeks. I sliced a pool noodle vertically and wrapped it around the ball to prepare it for shipment. These Ralph Lauren glasses sold for $171 on Mercari. I paid $4 for them and they took about a month to sell. These two Hawk Springs Ralph Lauren pillows sold for $50 plus shipping on eBay. I paid $50 for an entire bedding set. It took 2 weeks for these women's Ferragamo shoes to sell. I paid $1 for them at the bins and they sold for $65 plus shipping on eBay during my Christmas sale. I paid $2.99 for these Kate Spade pajamas at Goodwill and they sold for $20 plus shipping and they took about 2 weeks to sell. This Ralph Lauren Galahad King flat sheet has a hole in it and it's very faded and it still sold for $70 plus shipping. I paid $3.99 for it. I paid $1 for this Ralph Lauren luggage at a garage sale this summer. It took about 5 months to sell and it sold for $35. I picked up this toner at the bins. I paid a little less than $2 for it and it sold for $20, but it took about 6 months for this one to sell. I still have this Cutco case for sale, so just the knives sold. They sold for $70 plus shipping. They took about 2 months to sell. I paid $25. And then my parents paid $2 for this Santa suit over the summer. I listed this and it sold within a week for them for $40. I got a $130 offer for this Ralph Lauren cologne, so I took it, and then within 5 minutes I got another offer for this other bottle of $130. Both of those are 100% profit. So is this glitter. All 6 of these tubes sold for $36 plus shipping. It took 6 months for this Department 56 Crayola house to sell, and it sold for $45. I paid $6 for it. I paid $3 for this Cutco knife. It sold for $26 in about 3 weeks. I picked this vintage tree up in March, so it took about 8 months to sell. This is 100% profit and it sold for $130. I picked up this little Kittle locket at the bins. It's 100% profit, but I might have paid $0.25 for it total. It sold for $15 plus shipping in about 3 weeks. And then this next item I picked up about 2 weeks ago at Salvation Army. I paid $6.99 for it. Sold comps were around $20. I priced mine high and it sold for $33. This one Ralph Lauren pillowcase sold for $66.50. I paid $7.99 for the entire sheet set. It took about 48 hours for this to sell. This vintage Hawaiian Tropic tanning oil sold for $45 plus shipping. I paid 75 cents for this at the bins. I sold another cologne from the cologne estate sale. It took 5 weeks to sell. This sold for $45 plus shipping. I took a $75 offer on this Cutco utensil set. I paid less than $4 for these at the bins, and they took about 5 months to sell. This Ralph Lauren sweater vest took about 2 weeks to sell. I took an offer for $70 plus shipping on this. This came from a large lot of Ralph Lauren clothes that I picked up for $50. It took 3 months for this Barney bib to sell. I paid 25 cents for it at a garage sale and it sold for $10 plus shipping. I paid $5 for this Jingle Bell Rock Santa. He's a first edition and he sold within 12 hours for $42 plus shipping. This ornament is another bin pickup. I paid less than 50 cents for this and it sold for $25 plus shipping in about 4 months. This bottle of vintage shampoo sold for $40 in about 3 weeks. This is 100% profit and came from the Cologne estate sale. These boots took about a month to sell. They sold for $80 plus shipping. These were an international sale. These were $9.99, but they're 100% profit. I already made my money back on all the shoes that I bought this day. This cologne came from the same estate sale the shampoo did. This one sold for $35 plus shipping in about 3 weeks. I didn't realize I had had this Santa for so long. I've had him for 2.5 years. I paid 50 cents for him at a garage sale, and he sold for $22 plus shipping. All of these hangers are 100% profit. I sold 2 bunches of them. One bunch sold for $20, the other sold for $15. These took about 2 months to sell. These next 3 items are lower price sales. These Spanx sold for $6, and I picked up all 3 of these items at the bins. They're 100% profit, and their weight is so light that they cost maybe 50 cents total. This tie sold for $11, and then this Givenchy tie sold for $4. These 3 items are 100% profit. I paid $3.99 for this kit about 2 years ago, and it sold for $60 plus shipping. Now, this was at the bottom of my death pile. Once I got it listed, it sold within a week and a half of listing. I paid around $2 for this Blue's Clues lunch pail 3 months ago at the bins, and it sold for $23 plus shipping. This is another item that has been in my death pile for forever. Once I got it listed, it sold within 2 weeks. I paid $4.99 for it, and it sold for $20 plus shipping. This TV I've had listed for about 2 years. I paid $2 at the bins, and it sold for $28 plus shipping. I paid around $22 for all of these Ball half-gallon jars, and they took about 3 weeks to sell. They sold for $65 plus shipping. I picked up this Avon fiber optic scene in March, and I just got it listed. It sold within 3 weeks for $78 plus shipping. I paid $25 for this soap 2 months ago at an estate sale on 75% off day, and it sold for $15 plus shipping. This cologne sold for $175 plus shipping in about 7 weeks. I picked this up on 90% off day at an estate sale, so I paid $2.50 for this bottle. These double RL Ralph Lauren jeans were $3 at a new thrift store that I stopped at. I picked these up about 4 weeks ago, and they sold for $50 plus shipping. I did take a best offer on these. These are in kind of rough condition. If they were in better condition, I would have gotten a lot more. This shampoo came from the Cologne estate sale. I paid less than $1 for this, and this one also took about 7 weeks to sell, and it sold for $40 plus shipping on eBay. This book was in my death pile for months. I finally got it listed about 3 weeks ago, and I paid 75 cents for it, and it sold for $32 plus shipping. The box was sealed when I picked this up at the thrift store probably about a week ago. I thought it was new. It wasn't. I took an offer of $60 for it. I paid $15. This is another one of those colognes. I paid $2.50 for this one. It sold the same day as the other one. This one sold for $177 plus shipping. I picked up this Monster High Lot for $42, and everything sold within 2 weeks for $250 plus shipping. This set included 11 dolls and a whole bunch of accessories and clothing. So about a week ago, I found some Bratz dolls at Goodwill for around $45. I made a reel about it, posted on Facebook, posted that same reel on TikTok as well. So yesterday, 2 hours before my item ends, it was shared in a Bratz collectors group on Facebook, and their sentiment was I should have left the items behind for a family in need. I also felt that my $250 bid that I had on my item was not worth what they thought the lot was worth. So they decided to bid my item up to $11,000 so that I wouldn't make any money on it. I was able to cancel the bids, block a couple of the people, but somebody ended up winning it for $260, which kind of works in my favor. I had already called eBay. They had already reported the 3 accounts that were bidding on my item, and now eBay for Business has reported all 3 of their accounts for shill bidding. I mentioned this in a video a couple weeks ago. My family does not depend on my income from eBay, which is really nice. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 19 years. My husband's the breadwinner, so this item not selling does not affect me. I had relisted it as a buy it now so nobody could bid on it again, and then I was like, F this, I'm listing this as an auction. If they keep winning it, eBay is more than aware of the situation, so if it continues to happen, eBay will just take proper actions against everybody's account. and I'm sure eventually my item will sell. I am monetized on Facebook, so what these people don't realize is all of their comments, all of them coming to my page, viewing different reels of mine, my monetization jumped up so much yesterday, it was crazy. I grew up with 2 sisters and about 9 cousins. We're all within 5 years of each other. So any type of insult, I've heard it before. You can't bother the unbothered, and middle school insults only work on people with middle school confidence, and I'm definitely not the one. So please don't ever feel like you have to tell me that you're sorry this is happening to me, or for me to keep my head up, because I am unbothered by anything that happens on the internet. It's a fake world that people feel like they are way more important than what they are, and most of these people would never say something like this to my face.